Hi, it's kind of late tonight. I wanted to get this out early tomorrow morning, let you guys know um, about something really exciting. I found a way to use Hamilton, an American musical by Lin Manuel Miranda to solve The Secret by Byron Preiss, specifically the New York puzzle. And I know you guys are excited about this, and I want to get right to it. So I'm going to get started. Here we go. This is what I call the Hamilsolve. For one thing, you can tell right away that he is cluing you in on this, Miranda that is, because he says, "Immigrants, we get the job done." It's one of the most famous lines of the musical. You know, pretty much anybody who's seen it remembers that moment. And as we know, as experts on The Secret, immigration is a major deal. He has a litany about immigration, and he talks about how the fair folk immigrated from all over the world to the Americas. So immigrants, we get the job done. Right there, Miranda is telling us that immigration is going to play a key part in this solve. Um, it says a rhapsodic man's soil. Lin Manuel Miranda, one of the greatest contemporary songwriters that we have. It's a great connection, and I know you can't deny that. So one of the first things that clued me in on this is find the arm that extends in summer. And if you look at the logo, you can see right there his arm is extending up very clearly. And if you look at when Hamilton released, it was September 25th, 2015. Now you might be questioning that. You might say, well, that's not technically summer. That's about 4 days after summer. You're right. However, the early release of it, where it went for previews and things, would have been in the summer of that year. So it puts it perfectly on schedule for that. So it is the arm that extends in summer, and that is one of the most recognizable musical logos of all time. So clearly that fits. Right there, it's been staring us probably, I would say, in the face the entire time. Okay, the poem, or the verse rather, talks significantly about an Indies native. Alexander Hamilton is probably one of the most well-known Indies natives. Pretty much every solve that I've read of this talks about him. He was born in St. Kitts and Nevis in 1755. So if you want to talk about an Indies native, then we're right there with him. And it's really hard to find somebody else that would work for this. I think it's clearly talking about Alexander Hamilton. All right, now this part gets tricky, so you got to stick with me. It says the natives still speak of him, of hard word in 3 volumes, and this has given people a lot of problems. But I think Miranda gave us a huge clue. So prominently in this, you've got people in the background as natives, and they are watching these cabinet battles, he calls them, where it's Jefferson versus Hamilton. I guess I would ask you to consider what could be more hard word than a rap battle. It's probably one of the hardest words you can imagine. Two people standing there battling with just their words. That's hard. That's real hard. And that clearly establishes it is Thomas Jefferson. If you need more confirmation, we can just look at the Japanese clues. In that, they said that Byron Preiss said, play with words and start with chicken. All right, let's go to one of the lines from one of the cabinet battles. And another thing, Mr. Age of Enlightenment, don't lecture me about the war. You didn't fight in it. You think I'm frightened of you, man? We almost died in a trench while you were off getting high with the French. Look, right there. He calls Jefferson a chicken, straight to his face. Very hard to deny. I think it clearly establishes Jefferson as him of hard word in 3 volumes. Now, I know you might be saying, there's only 2 cabinet battles. How can Jefferson be possibly him of hard word in 3 volumes? It's a good point, but I have an answer for you. So if you look on the bonus features from the album, there was supposed to be a 3rd cabinet battle where they debate the issue of slavery, but he cut it out. Miranda cut it out. He didn't think it was as good as the other 2. So there you go. That's 3 volumes, 3 cabinet battles, Jefferson versus Hamilton. And you had the people in the background portraying the natives. They're still speaking of it. I'm still speaking of it. It was a great moment in musical history. Here's another clue that the genius put in there. She's clearly holding a flower in her right hand in the picture. Obviously, you have to kind of like flip yourself around. But yeah, there's the line right there. 32,000 troops in New York Harbor. And it shows us that we should be looking right around New York Harbor. Let's move on. From the middle of one branch of the V. Now this shows the genius of Miranda because you've got two meanings, the Coast Guard, one branch of the V, but then I'll show you the next branch of the V, and you've got Hamilton, which he calls the protean creator of the Coast Guard. West Indies native, creator of the Coast Guard. Simple. So you take the star from the logo, you lay it over New York Harbor, which we already know is in play because of Right Hand Man, one of the more famous songs from the musical. Okay, make it touch. You can see on here, make it touch at each point different parts of the harbor. What happens then? Clearly, look. I mean, you can see it. He points right there to Liberty State Park. It's undeniable. Okay, once we're in Liberty State Park, we need to take twice as many east steps as the hour or more. This one took me days to come up with. But in a musical, any musical, okay, the steps the actors take are known as blocking or steps. And Miranda, now he's kind of unique. He's a genius. He's a talent. He wrote the blocking as well as the music for this musical. Hamilton, American musical. What did he put in there? The election of 1800. Now we know Hamilton was in the military. 1800, a year, a time. 1800 hours would be 6 p.m. So clearly we need to go somewhere to that park. We need to take 12 or more steps. 12 or more. Not less. Okay, so we're there in the park. 12 or more steps. You find the treasure right there. That's it. You got it. Solved. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Okay, thanks for watching. Sorry, I'm kind of a troll sometimes. Maybe it was funny, maybe it just proves the absurdity of it all. I'm assuming the people that are the most upset about this probably didn't stick with me this long. But if you did stick with me, I have at least two semi-serious thoughts that I did come across during this kind of joke of a little mini project here. One, and this is totally almost accidental. That lake or pond or something at the Interpretive Center in Liberty State Park looks an awful lot like the weird genie lamp looking thing that I've always thought of from the San Francisco picture. It's probably nothing, honestly, but I've always wondered what that is, and I haven't seen anything great before. I know that the artist said that there's a bookends sort of thing in play. So if New York and San Francisco somehow connect, that looks a lot like, very similar, at least visually. That opened in 1976. That's not even on topographical maps. I don't even know what it is. It's just on Google Maps. It's some kind of a pond or a lake. I'm not super attached to that one. However, I have been sitting on this next one for a little while, and I do think it has a little bit more merit. If you look at the logo for the New York sector of the Coast Guard, which is headquartered right there on Staten Island, that's their logo. It's unique to them. And if you compare it to those first couple lines of the poem, in the shadow of the gray giant, find the arm that extends over the slender path. It actually fits really well. And there's a few other things right around there, including the Coast Guard headquarters, that match up. Like I said, I've had that one in the back of my head for a while, And I promise that one's not trolling. I think it makes a lot of sense. If you could find that one, that logo somewhere in New York, I think you might be on a decent start. Obviously, I don't have a solution for you, or I'd already have it in my hands, but it's something worth looking at least. It's definitely in the shadow of the Statue of Liberty, and it's extending over a slender path. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're not too mad at me. I'm sure the comments are probably going to blow me up of people who watch the first minute and think I'm serious. But I hope you have a great day, and try not to fall for anything else you see online today. Thanks.